What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here to break down the NBA DraftKings slate on August 25th. We have only a two-game NBA slate today. We have the Dallas Mavericks versus the LA Clippers, Denver Nuggets versus Utah Jazz. Those are game fives, I believe. Yeah, game five of each series. Denver's down 3-1 to Utah, and the Dallas and Clippers series, which has been the best of the whole playoffs, is tied at 2-2. So before I get into all the players today, if you're new to the channel, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, leave a comment. All those things really help me out, help me grow the channel. We've had a lot of growth throughout NASCAR and basketball season. NFL is coming up real soon. NCAA football is coming up real soon, and college basketball hopefully comes up soon as well. So be sure to stick around for all those as well. And then NBA is probably gonna have a short turnaround after the season's over anyway, so that'll be taking a little break, but then it'll be back. So be sure to stick around for all that stuff as well. If you want to get more of my content, you can subscribe to my Patreon for only $10 a month. For NBA, for only $10 a month, you're going to get a cheat sheet with all the stats you need to know, projections for DraftKings, FanDuel, Yahoo, Fantasy Draft, and Super Draft, along with the salary tier rankings, daily article, Cash Core 4, and injury notes. So make sure to check all that out for only $10 a month. You're going to get that for all of the websites. So be sure to check all of that out. If you want to follow me on social media, my Twitter is at DFSNateLane, my Instagram is at @NateLane_. I'll put the link in the description below. But without anything else I gotta say, I think it's time to get into the players. So Luca Doncic for Dallas. Pretty much I put like more players for each team because there's less games today. So we'll start off with Luca Doncic, and he just had the game of his career the other day. 43-point triple-double, brought them all the way back from down 20. What a game that was, and he hit the game winner, put up 92 DraftKings points, absolutely ridiculous. And there was no Kristaps Porzingis in that game, so he gets a big usage bump without Porzingis, and unfortunately we didn't know that until after that game had locked that Porzingis was going to miss, so that kind of screwed up everybody, but it happens. Stuff like that happens sometimes. You just got to deal with it. It's part of DFS, and oh well, you move on. But Kristaps Porzingis was out. That gave Luka Doncic a ton more usage. But Porzingis is questionable today. I like Luka either way today. He's just carrying that team. I don't want to say carrying. He's carrying it when Porzingis is off the floor. But when Porzingis is there, he's still just so great. He's such a high producer, high usage player, most expensive player in the day. He has the highest ceiling, in my opinion, out of everybody. Because unlike Kawhi, where Kawhi doesn't really. I think Kawhi only has one triple double his entire career. Like Luka Doncic can get you that triple double. So I think the ceiling is higher for Luka. So yeah, Luka Doncic looks really good again today. There's just nothing to say negative against him. This isn't really a slate where you play matchups because there's really only two games. You just try to find the values, guys who are going to play more, who fit into the game script more, and Luka Doncic is just everything. So if Kristaps Porzingis misses, which I do like, I'll talk about Porzingis next, I guess. $9,100. It's just another play. He just looks good. You want all these top tier guys today. There's none of them just don't play them, except for maybe Mitchell. Mitchell's expensive, but outside of the rest of them, I'm just Kristaps Porzingis is a high point per minute producer. In the bubble, him and Luka Doncic have had about a 30% usage rate, so he's gonna have the ball in his hands a ton. And after that last game, I wouldn't even be surprised to see the Clippers just try to clamp down Luka the entire game. Maybe Porzingis has a good game, so I do like going to Porzingis here today. I think he is a solid option. But if Kristaps Porzingis misses again, I really like going to MKG or Trey Burke. And I can't believe I've ever put Michael Kidd-Gilchrist in a video, but I am. He saw. I don't even have him any projected minutes right now, but I will have him minutes. He played 19, 20 minutes last game without Kristaps Porzingis on the floor, and only 3,300. That's going to allow you to get a few more of the top guys. That's just some nice value to have on the slate. Hopefully, we know if Porzingis is going to play before lock, but I really doubt it. We probably won't know till in the middle of the Utah-Denver game, so that kind of sucks. So I wouldn't really. I'm not confident in Porzingis missing again. I was shocked he missed the other day. Honestly, it's the playoffs. You just sort of expect these guys to play. So I think Porzingis plays today. So then that MKG becomes irrelevant. But just in case he misses, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist does become a solid play. Same thing with Trey Burke. Trey Burke saw in the 30s of minutes the other day because Porzingis was out. He got the start. He's $4,500 now, but I still would like to go there if Porzingis misses. I think he's even a relatively decent option, even if Porzingis plays. He just doesn't have as much upside. But if Porzingis misses, I do like going to Trey Burke today because he's starting his place. He's going to play a ton of minutes. I didn't put Steph Curry on this, but he's a solid option as well. Tim Hardaway Jr., $5,800. You're just going to have to find these mid-range guys that solid plays, and that's what Tim Hardaway Jr. is for you. Decent play. He'll be out there a ton of minutes. If he can knock down some threes, he's going to be very valuable. If he's not hitting his shots, he's pretty much not doing anything for you. But solid option nonetheless. Next, we got the Denver Nuggets, and I'm pretty sure. So I pretty much have what I think is going to be their closing five. Because I think Porter's probably going to start again, but Jeremy Grant has been a key part of their closing five. So I got Murray, Morris, Millsap, Jokic, Grant. So Michael Porter Jr.'s defense, Michael Porter Jr. is going to be a great player in the NBA. I don't think anyone doubts that, but his defense is horrendous right now. He just needs to learn how to be a better on-ball defender, because basically what the Jazz have been doing is just putting Porter in a screen, making him switch on Donovan Mitchell or Conley, and they just take him to the basket. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much their whole offense spin for the most part. So that forces Porter to not be on the floor. Mike Malone doesn't want to play him if he's going to just be a liability on defense. So Jeremy Grant gets the playing time, and then because of that, they have to replace Torrey Craig with Monte Morris because they need scoring. And Monte Morris, he's not really a great scorer or anything, but Torrey Craig is not a scorer. So Monte Morris can create his own shot or create a shot for others. So that's what they do now. Morris did get to start in place of Craig the other day, which was kind of shocking. I was doing something else. I didn't even see it, so that kind of screwed me over. But that's my fault. But yeah, so Jeremy Grant, $4,700. He's been playing in the upper 30s of minutes. I just like him because he's a good point per dollar play at that price tag. Nikola Jokic, $9,400. Again, just all these top guys are good today. I just wouldn't try to avoid any of them. I think he's a solid option. He went up about $100 from the last game. And recency bias has been really on point in these playoffs so far. So I expect Murray to get a bunch of ownership today, honestly. Nikola Jokic probably won't get as much as he should, and I think that's a good option. He's still the higher usage player. He's still the best player on the team. He's still the highest point per minute player on the team. So yeah, I still want to go to Nikola Jokic. Paul Millsap, he played a lot of minutes last game. I think, as the playoffs get deeper and deeper, they're giving Millsap more and more minutes. And I think that's just going to continue today. $5,000 seems like a good price tag to pay if he's going to get 30 minutes today. So a decent .99 point per minute producer. He gets a little bit of usage bump without Barton on the floor still. So I think Millsap projects out as a solid option. Monte Morris at $4,000. Just we need some cheaper guys, and that's a cheaper guy. He's only $4,000. He'll play in the 30 minutes if he starts. I'd make sure if Torrey Craig's starting, I'd replace Morris with Torrey Craig in that spot. But I'm assuming Morris is going to start again. But just in case, be on the lookout for that. We'll know that one before lock is that is the first game. But that's just something to look out for. And then Jamal Murray, $8,000. He's just been balling this playoffs, man. He's just been going absolutely nuts. Now he's $8,000. It's expensive for Jamal Murray. That's a lot of money to pay for Jamal Murray. But it's only a 2-game slate, and if people are scared to pay for $8,000 for Jamal Murray, I might as well just go there because I got to do something different today if I want to win GPP. You got to be a little bit different. You can't just hit the chalk. So if Murray's chalk, I'll probably stay away. If he's going to be lower owned, I will probably go towards him. So I think that's my take on Jamal Murray today. Next, we got the LA Clippers, and I'm going to continue to target Paul George. Yeah, he's been trash. Paul George has been horrible in the playoffs. He's been so bad, shooting the ball at terrible rates. But, it's a 2-game slate. You got to find value somewhere. And Paul George is Paul George, and he's $8,200. Jamal Murray's $200 less than him. And Paul George is definitely a lot better player than Jamal Murray. All respect aside to Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray's great, but come on. Paul George, $8,200. He played 40 minutes last game and before overtime. So, he's going to be out there a ton. They need him. They need his defense. He's still been playing fine defense. Just his shot hasn't been falling. And maybe today's the day people start avoiding him finally. I think his ownership's going to start to slowly go down just because of the reputation he's getting. But I'll continue to go there. Maybe Paul George will finally have a good game. Although, he's been terrible in the playoffs the last few years anyway. So this isn't really that surprising to me. But on a 2-game slate, if Paul George isn't going to get a ton of ownership at $8,200, yeah, I'm going to look to a lot of Paul George. And if he sucks, oh well. I'll just deal with it. But it's still, on paper, a good play for Paul George. Montrezl Harrell, $4,100. I don't have him for a ton of minutes right now, but he's been slowly getting pushed more and more into rotation. And I just know that, explosion Montrezl Harrell game's coming. He's a guy that produces at a really high rate, and when he gets going on the floor, the coach will leave him on and he'll finish games. I still think, though, that the thing with Trez not playing a ton of minutes and finishing games is because of the matchup, because Dallas is a big team. They'll run out there Porzingis and Kleba, and Montrezl Harrell's 6'9". He's smaller than both of them. So Zubac just presents a better matchup for him for the Clippers to use instead of Montrezl Harrell. So I understand the reasoning not putting him in, but it's still someone I may want to get a little bit of ownership to. But I would look for if the Clippers win this series, I think Trez is going to be someone that's going to go very under-owned on the first game of that next series. Is going to be a great play if they win this series. But especially if they're it doesn't matter. Let's not look forward to that. Let's look at today right now. I think he's fine. I understand why he's not getting the minutes more than just he hasn't been around. I see the reasons why he's not there. Reggie Jackson played 28 minutes last game at $3,700. Came off the bench, did really well, was really productive. And I'll just go back to him today. I mean, he's $3,700. He can't really hurt you. If he does get like super popular, really popular, I think there's ways to pivot to Landry Shamet because Landry probably starts again. But I don't hate going to Reggie. I don't even hate going to Landry too a little bit. So I didn't even put him in a video because he's just really not that good. I don't have a lot to say about him, but he's someone I'll have some exposure to in tournaments. Kawhi Leonard, $10,000, probably is, another great pay-up option today. I mean, it's just been, it's playoff Kawhi is different. He played 47 minutes with overtime last time. I have him for 42 right now. They need him on the floor if they want to win this series. It's a tough series. They need him for offense, need him for defense. He should have been on Luca Doncic that last play the other day. That game should have went to double overtime, in my opinion. Or were they up by one? Clippers might have been up by one when Luca hit that shot, so maybe not. But, Kawhi Leonard, just another great option. High point per minute player is going to play a ton of minutes. I have him highly projected today. So, I love Kawhi Leonard today. If you can find ways to put Kawhi and Luka in your lineup, that could be the way to go. But, I would try to make at least every lineup have one of those two. I just don't see a lot of paths to these guys, one of these two not being in the top winning lineup tonight. Lou Will, $6,400 on DraftKings. It's just a usage hog when he's on the floor. He just jacks up shots, and I love that. And we know when he gets hot, and he's been playing really good in the playoffs. He's gotten hot pretty much every single game, and I'm going to continue to go to that. I don't really have a lot else to say about Lou Will. He's a good high-usage player, high point-per-minute player, and he shoots the ball a ton. So that's really what you want. And honestly, in DraftKings players, the guys who shoot the ball a lot, and Lou Will does that for you. And we know he's going to get in the upper 30s minutes. He closes out the games, so Lou Williams is just a very solid option, in my opinion. Ivica Zubac has been playing decent minutes. I think I like going back to Ivica Zubac again, $4,300. He's just cheap for a high point per minute guy. If he gets a little bit hot, one of the other bigs getting foul trouble, he falls into 25, 26 minutes, he's going to be absolute value today. So I do want some Ivica Zubac today. Mike Conley for Utah Jazz going up against Denver. He's $6,700, which is expensive for Mike Conley this year, but Conley's been playing really good in the playoffs. I'll look to go back to him. I'm for 32 minutes. He's a .92 point per minute producer. He's a solid play. I think higher usage guy on the team. Second highest usage player on the floor right now for them. But I think Mike Conley's solid. It's such a small slate. You just got to find the guys to play. And I think Mike Conley looks a little bit expensive, so I could see why ownership wouldn't be there. And that's someone you might want to exploit today. Rudy Gobert, $7,600. He's been absolutely torching Jokic in these playoffs, man. Jokic is just terrible on defense against Rudy Gobert, which is shocking to me, honestly. I really thought Denver would handle this series pretty easily, but I was wrong. Rudy Gobert looks like a solid play at $7,600. He's going to play in the upper 30s of minutes. He's out there all the time. He's a really high point per minute producer, and he's just been torching Jokic so far, and I don't really see why that stops today. This series could be over today, and Rudy Gobert has been looking really, really solid. So I think I do like going to Rudy here. Donovan Mitchell at $9,700. I'm just putting him in because I just put in all the top price guys for today. That was weird. $9,700 for Donovan Mitchell is way too much. But again, he's just been playing absolutely fantastic recently. Just shooting the ball a ton and hitting his shots. He's been efficient. 38 minutes per game, it looks like 1.1 point per minute producer. I like to go back to Donovan Mitchell here today a little bit. I won't have a ton of exposure. I'd rather get to Kawhi for $300 more. I'd rather get to Jokic for $300 less, or Porzingis for $600 less, or just pay up $1,300 more for Luka. But Donovan Mitchell, you can't ignore the production, and if he's going to be super low owned, I might get some exposure to him. And I honestly think he will probably be the lowest owned out of all those guys I just named. So Donovan Mitchell may be someone worth getting some exposure to. And then finally, Royce O'Neal. He's not someone I ever suggest, but on 2-game slate, he's the type of guy that if he plays good, you're going to need to be in a winning lineup. He's more expensive now, so the ownership isn't going to be there, unlike it was when he's $3,600. So people don't really want to pay for Royce O'Neal for $4,500. So maybe I'll get a little bit of him today, but not someone that's really great point per minute producer at all. He's really not that cheap. If you're just going for a cash game, which if you're playing cash today, man, that's a fun one to take on today. But if you are playing cash, I want to play Royce. I'd get to more like Reggie Jackson or Monty Morris or something. But I think that's really all I got to say on this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was a short one today, only 2-game slate. Tomorrow we'll be back with a 3-game slate, and then Thursday the Celtics-Raptors series starts, so there's some more stuff to definitely get into about that matchup, which I'm excited to break down for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. Hope you guys make some money tonight. And make sure to leave a like, subscribe on the channel.